Hello class, and welcome to our presentation, The Branches of Philosophy. And it is in this presentation that we are going to address the question that we left off with in the Introduction to Philosophy. What exactly do philosophers talk about? What precisely do they study? Well, there are four main branches of inquiry in the discipline of philosophy: metaphysics, epistemology, value theory, and logic. And each one of these branches asks unique questions. So metaphysics, for example, is concerned with the study of reality. So the discipline of metaphysics is concerned with both the question of external reality and internal reality, or what is out there and what is in here. So as far as the out there, metaphysicians are interested in what is the nature of reality. That is, does material reality really exist, or is it just an illusion? And if this material reality that we live in and encounter every day, if it really does exist, is it the only reality? Or do there exist other realities that are beyond our senses? Now, in terms of the nature of internal reality, do we as human beings have a soul, and a material soul or mind? And if so, is this soul mortal or is it immortal? That is, does it die with the body, or does it survive the body after death? Do we have free will, or are we like robots that are governed by the laws of nature? And does there exist a supreme being that we call God? If so, what is the nature of God? That is God human-like, kind of as depicted in this picture by William Blake? Or is God infinitely mysterious and kind of beyond image and beyond sound, immaterial and formless? So that's metaphysics and some of the questions that are asked by that particular branch. Now, in terms of epistemology, epistemology is concerned with the study of knowledge. Well, what does that mean? Well, for one, epistemologists are interested in the question of how do we as human beings acquire knowledge? That is, some philosophers argue that human beings are only capable of attaining empirical knowledge, that is, knowledge through the senses, which is often referred to as scientific knowledge. Whereas other philosophers believe that we as human beings are actually capable of supersensory forms of knowledge that we gain from other realities. Plato, for example, is a philosopher who's going to argue just that. Another big question, can anything be known for certain? We are going to talk about what are called global skeptics and later in the course. And global skeptics are going to argue that no, nothing can be known for certain. We don't know whether this reality exists. We don't know whether God exists. We don't even know whether we exist. Pretty heavy stuff. What is truth? Does there exist some kind of a single statement or single word that can unveil like the mysteries of the universe? Or is truth just an illusion? It doesn't really exist. All right, so that's epistemology. So what is value theory? Well, value theory is concerned with the study of values. So part of value theory is the study of ethics. So what is morally valuable? Are moral values universal or are they relative? That is, does there exist a universal moral law that we all have a duty to adhere to? Or are moral values relative to each individual in each society or culture? What is the good life? What kind of life should human beings be living? What is the meaning of life? Value theory is also interested in matters of political philosophy. Why should we follow laws? What are the best forms of government? And value theorists are also interested in aesthetics, that is, questions such as what is art and what is beauty? Can something like this, which is considered by many to be a work of art, it's just a urinal, is this art or is it just a urinal? What is it? And finally, logic, which we touched upon in our last presentation. Logic is concerned with the laws of argumentation and correct reasoning. And logicians are interested in the question, what is a good argument and what rules allow for an argument to be good or bad. Now, here's something important to be aware of. Some philosophers are what we might call specialists. That is, they specialize in a particular branch of philosophy. So some philosophers might spend the majority of their life studying and debating metaphysics and really talking very little about ethics or political philosophy. However, some philosophers, such as the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, addressed issues in all of the branches of philosophy, so he's like a real bigwig. So with this in mind, we now turn to our brief introduction to Plato.